My own style, my style of leadership is about leading by consensus. Obviously, as a cabinet, and the position I have is we implement and look at policies that we want to carry forward, and then it's our job to convince our peers, which in this case, because in Rotherham it's the Labour Party that's in government, so it's for us to take that through our own Labour group, and then obviously the policy that we put in place, we have to defend them against the opposition parties, which is quite right. And it's all about making sure that if your arguments are good and relevant, and then they will carry the day forward. But you have to be mindful that you have to take other people's views in as you're going forward, because into perspective, otherwise you're not going to be leading for a very long time. No. So it's about making sure that you understand the will of the electorate, of the elected members, because they have a mandate as well. Absolutely. From their own constituents. So it's very much about partnership working, and of course it is very interesting at times. No, and
so you have interesting debates in the council as well. Absolutely,
absolutely, and quite rightly, because that's the beauty of democracy. Because because only by then do you come to a consensus and hopefully come to the best answers for the communities of here in Rotherham.
Great. It's being a deputy leader. Obviously, the title's good. It's great. Sounds very nice. But tell me about the projects that you take. I mean, I presume that this is a 24-hour job. You've got to keep on at the ball and make sure that everything's running smoothly. Tell me about your current projects that you're running.
Well, basically, actually, my portfolio
and responsibilities.
Yeah. As the deputy leader, obviously, that has his own role because I deputise for the leader. For example, this week is away in Brussels, so I'm effectively the leader this week. And there are a number of other responsibilities I have as deputy leader. But along with that, I have a separate portfolio, which is the resources portfolio, which I have responsibility for all of the council's commissioning, the procurement, and the finance management of the whole of the council.
The whole of the council.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have it's £700 million total budget of the council, and I have the responsibility for having oversight of that.
Okay, that's obviously a huge responsibility, which you have to make sure that you you distribute that money into the right.
Absolutely. Areas. I mean, obviously, it's done in partnership with the cabinet. We have a cabinet of 10, which consists of the leader, the deputy leader, and then we have 8 cabinet members who are responsible for each programme area. And I have as I said, I have the resources portfolio, which is making sure that the budgets that we allocate to each department, that people actually spend to the budget, and then look at the trends going through the year, make sure we monitor it, and they've got enough money to be able to deliver the services. Because at the end of the day, this is about, we set the budget at the start of the year, and making sure that these are the things that we want to deliver for the people of Rotherham. And of course, during the day, we have many challenges, many things that we have to deal with.
One of the facts that I think last meeting you mentioned that the Rotherham Council is the only council throughout UK is to hold Labour seats. Was it 90% or 95% Labour seats? Is it?
Well, we have out of a total seats in Rotherham. We have 63 total seats. Okay. Out of them, it's 54 are Labour. Wow. So we hold 54. In fact, I believe we have the highest majority in the UK.
So it's pretty easy going then for yourselves as a Labour.
Well, not necessarily, because when you have such a small opposition, right, we actually have systems in place that we hold ourselves to account. Because our constitutional makeup of the council is we have the cabinet, and then we have the select commissions that actually look at the different areas of the programme areas. So we actually have to make sure that because we are looking after the public purse here, so we do scrutinise ourselves as well, because it probably might be easy if we had a bit of a stronger opposition, right? But we have to make sure, because the other 54 councillors, well, 44 were not on the cabinet, they effectively hold us to account for the decisions that we make.
So technically they are your opposition.
Well, they're not opposition because they're our colleagues, but they have the people that they answer to. Because ultimately, every councillor is a ward councillor first, because the people who actually vote for you at the ballot boxes, they are the most important people for us.
Okay. Moving very swiftly on, what I'd like you to tell me about your future ambitions. You know, what do you have in mind? What more to achieve?
To be honest, Zeeshan, I am so grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I have achieved this much, because I would never have dreamed, you know, 15, 20 years ago as we were growing up, you're just trying to learn the language in the first place, that we could have even imagined being a councillor. Never mind reaching these dizzy heights of being a deputy leader. So I am more than content with my lot. And if there are any opportunities in the future, who knows? Allah knows best. But the thing is, I do love representing the people that I've actually grown up with here in Rotherham. I do love representing all of the people of Rotherham, and I will do my best to carry out any future jobs that I'm given by the people of Rotherham.
Oh, that's fantastic. One of the things that I always admired from Rotherham is seems to be making a habit of Asians making to the high levels. I mean, in politics, for example, we've had a Lord Mayor from the Rotherham Council. We've had a Lord Ahmed who's great aspirations for the whole community. Obviously, yourself as a deputy leader. What is it in Rotherham that drives people to the high achievements?
To be honest, if I knew, I would bottle it and make lots of money. But I think it all leads down to the excellent tutorship of Lord Ahmed. And I never get tired of saying this, but it is true, and people think, well, why do they keep mentioning that? But it's true. It was Lord Ahmed who actually certainly encouraged me, well, to be honest, bullied me to come into politics, because when he became a lord, he actually forced me to come into politics, and I said, I don't want to do it. He said, well, who's going to represent the communities then? You've done this while I was here. Somebody needs to do it. It's no good, sitting at home and blaming everybody else for all the ills of the community. Right? You need to step up to the mark. So I think, I truly believe it's because of Lord Ahmed, and I think it's the way that he actually set about his way of life and how he did politics, because he actually did his job with honour, integrity, and honesty. And I've tried to follow. I have tried to follow, and I still try to emulate what Lord Ahmed stands for and the way he believed. And so does Councillor Maroof Hussain as well. Right. And I think you've probably seen the seeds coming to fruition, what Lord Ahmed sowed. So that's the only thing I can put it back down to.
Speaking of Councillor Maroof Hussain, obviously, no doubt he's a great young talent for the community. Where do you see him in the future?
I think that's a question you need to ask Councillor Maroof Hussain.
Right. And are you all supportive of each other when you...
I think that's probably one of our biggest strengths. But having said that though, Zeeshan, I'm not just supportive of Maroof. I'm supportive of Councillor Gerald Smith. I'm supportive of Councillor Paul Aiken. I'm supportive of Councillor John Doyle as well. These are all my close friends. Maroof I've known all my life virtually, right? So we have a good friendship. But as far as colleagues are concerned, we in the Labour Party are one family. We might disagree behind closed doors, but like all families, we are united in all the things we do to make sure that we have the best possible service for the people of Rotherham.
That's fantastic. Finally, wrapping this up, I'd like to, on a milder note, I'd like you to tell me a bit about your family, your kids, and do they look up to you?
Well, actually, to be honest, right, whenever they used to listen to me, I have 5 children. Okay. They're all grown up. I'm very, very proud of each and every one of them. They are all very successful in their chosen careers. Okay. I'm even more proud of my 3 grandsons. Wow. They're the ones who are the apples of my eye. They're the ones who actually make me smile. Okay. And they're the ones who I actually look forward to making sure that I go home, make sure I make time for my grandsons. And I think my eldest grandson has become a deputy councillor in his school. and he actually he phoned me a couple of weeks ago and he says, Grandad, I'm just like you now. I'm the deputy councillor. We're both same. So I'm very proud. So I think my kids probably won't come into politics. I don't know, but I certainly think my grandkids will.
That's fantastic. And your family's all supportive of you in whatever you do. Whatever you want to do.
Well, to be honest, they don't have a choice, because I'm the head of the household and I lead by consensus, but obviously my house, my rules.
Councillor Akhtar, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you, and thank you for your kind time.